All new at 10 tonight, 2 new projects approved by the Greenville City Planning Commission. That's what went down at tonight's meeting. One plan will bring some significant change to one area of Greenville.
And tonight, Fox Carolina's Kennedy Harris was there. She's joining us now live in the studio with more. Kennedy?
Yeah, we've told you about the plans for the area around Greenville's downtown airport before. It's been years in the making, and it received the first green light from commissioners tonight. Another project that was originally deferred was also greenlit by the Planning Commission.
Special emphasis neighborhoods and corporate communities can find common ground.
That common ground was found Thursday night, the first time Ferris Town's developers faced the Planning Commission and Nicholtown residents. It looked a lot different.
I think they're going to be certainly more supportive of the development than they were in the August meeting.
The 39 townhome proposal was deferred after both residents and commissioners shared concerns about the layout, traffic, and lack of input from the community. Over the last few months, developers met with Nicholtown leaders and formed a compromise.
While affordable housing remains a concern, a deep concern, there's still a willingness to cooperate is a positive sign.
They created more space between the project and existing homes, modified the road entrance, agreed to join the Homeowners Association, and donated $45,000 to the City Affordable Housing Fund.
I guess I'm not fully convinced that this is the right plan.
Despite lingering layout concerns from commissioners, the project meets the old development code standards, so it was approved. Also approved the airport district study. The 15-year revitalization plan calls for added business space, apartments, hotels, road improvements, and a loop trail around the downtown airport. Commissioners also agreed on the top priorities, like a skate park.
Because maybe basketball, baseball, football, soccer, we don't fit into that. Maybe we don't want to do that. And so to have this on the docket as a real opportunity is very inspiring, and I just want to say thank you